securely deliver without having to compromise the independence of the police force in the delivery of the elections. But anyway, coming into this office, I acknowledge the fact that the challenges of law and order in our country are challenges that are not easy to tackle and address. I think in Yubla Saben, Mi Saben, Yumi Holgera Sabelomi. This has been a challenge for us as a country. Our people are talking about it. The leaders of this country have been talking about it. But it is not so much so to say that the police hasn't done anything about it. I must also say that I come into this office acknowledging the complexities of white-collar crimes, investigations into corruption and corrupt practices in our country, all the transnational crimes for that matter. And these are not easy taskings for us to undertake, but there are some good works that have been undertaken already with our good partners and under the leadership of the good commissioner and his deputies and leaders in the organization. And I must also acknowledge the good work of the police force thus far. At this juncture, I also want to acknowledge the leadership of the young Honorable Samalili. I want to say that he has performed extremely well and has laid very good foundation for me to extend on the good work that Mbokimika Minister. I want to congratulate him on his new appointment as Minister for Works also, and I know that he will do an excellent work over there. From time to time, I will also consult with him. I will consult with the Minister for Defense as well, and all other leaders, so as to ensuring that we get the outcomes we want in the challenges of social disorders that we are confronted with within our country. I acknowledge the fact that of the good works that have been done and achieved, I want to thank our good friends, especially our Australian partners, as our strategic friends in their investment in the country, especially to do with policing work. The training college up in Bamana is one of the best in our part of the region. It does not only train our policemen and women, but it also trains other police officers in our part of the Pacific region. It is a center of excellence insofar as police training is concerned, and that is a college that is also undertaking the training of our so-called K23, one that under the leadership of Samalili is seeing some success already in our country. But I think the investment that through our partnership that has been made in terms of police housing and other infrastructures, be it in Port Moresby, Ley, Mount Hagen, or Kokopo, are things that, as your Minister for Police, I must acknowledge and appreciate and thank. Resources, as we all know, are limited. We need our friends to help support investment in these areas. Police accommodation, police welfare is also very, very important when we are trying to address issues of crime and lawlessness in the country. Our policemen up front have to be motivated and to ensuring standards and performance we've got to watch out for our policemen's welfare. Something that I will take on from where it is left, see as to whether we can improve on and advance. Looking at salaries and remunerations, insurance of the police are very, very important. Sometimes we get out there, we borrow money for school fees, for this or that, and your take-home pay is unable to support you for the fortnight. These are some of the things that, in the interest of policing welfare, that the Commissioner is going to look into, and maybe those who are responsible in personal emoluments will have to sit and look through. Just posing a simple question to one of our policemen. Is this take-home pay for you sufficient for you to carry you over the 2 weeks? If it is insufficient, why? How are you surviving? How can we help to help this policeman or woman overcome? But these are just some examples of areas that we need to further improve on. It is not just in Kokopo, again, Ley, Port Moresby that we'd like to look at housing and so on, but the needs of police welfare and accommodation is right across the country. It's something that I will work closely with the Commissioner. There is no miracles overnight, but it's a work in progress that has started, and I will put my political will to it to see greater outcomes in that area. But listen, at this time I want to acknowledge all of my fine police officers right across the country. If you're tuning in, if you are listening in, I want to thank you all for your commitment, for the loyalty on oath that you have sworn to give your people and your country. I want to thank you for your service thus far. For those who have lost lives as a result of your service to this country and your people, I want to honor you and thank you. For the good wives and for the good children out there who stand behind your father, behind your mother, every day he or she leaves home, not knowing whether he is going to return home the same afternoon, but only to sometimes receive that sad news from out wherever he serves and performs his duties. I want to also thank you for the strength that you have behind these fine policemen that serve this nation. But there are a few that do undermine the integrity of the police department. And I know that this has been addressed over time. I think there has been record termination under the leadership of Commissioner Manning, and this is going to continue. We are not going to tolerate undermining the integrity, the standards, and the performance of the police force in the country. Something that the Commissioner will be pressured on to ensuring that we instill more discipline and ensure that the commitment of the oath that they have shown to serving this country is performed with integrity, with pride, and with patriotic attitudes. I'd like to outline a few directions that as a result of the briefing that I have received from the Commissioner and the good senior police leaders of the organization that I was so warmly welcomed, and later we had to sit through a briefing process. And I appreciate the knowledge, the experience, and the qualifications of many of our policemen up in the forefront as leaders of the organization, and I thank and I acknowledge some of whom who are present here in this conference. I praise God for you, and I praise God for all the policemen throughout the country. Yumi Olgera Masabe as a people of Papua New Guinea, Olgera Department, all other agencies of the state. All sabe go work na clock in lo 8 or 6, na time all finish work. All clock out lo 4 or 6 na all go to house. But there is one department and one constitutional institution for the people of Papua New Guinea that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now footprint lo this organization yeah, and start lo all gonna have lo Papua New Guinea. Start lo Vanimo, Boda lo this la have, you go all same lo New Island, come all same lo West na East New Britain. Come go down all same lo Bougainville na Milan Bay, Cape York lo have, come back come all same lo Port Moresby, go on top of the lo Kiunga na Daru. Na Boda lo Yumi lo have. Policeman na policeman lo Yumi, walk lo there, and 24 hours 7. 24 hours 7 days a week. Now, you know one bla easy bla walk lo current. Law and order, lo fixing, na helping, good blessing down, bla all papa, na mama, na pigini, na Mary, all across the country. Walk bla police force, and bla look at him, all get a line, stop inside long boundary bla. Papua New Guinea. Territorial boundaries below, you mean as an independent state here. Walk below policeman, walk below policeman, and below look at him. All get a citizen below inside below this below. Country you may call him Papua New Guinea now. Nice below people below you mean. Out there you below start looking. You below Masabe. And this below organization there, Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary. Operations belong in. 24 hours. Every day, 7 days a week, every day, 24 hours in a month, every day, 24 hours inside law one play here. No cut stop longing. Now you mean what sabe? This la kind operation there. Emi no easy. Emma she got good support too. Now I'll him law make him sure that operation belong all. Come up good long, come up in good la sidan blow you mean, long whatever you mean stop long. Na time me to all same yeah. Meeting him all policeman stop law telephone me. Meeting him all policeman stop law daru. Meeting him all policeman. Stop law compian tu law electorate blow me. Life is not easy, life is hard. Some blah stop. Only got school lo put in beginning blong school. Lo city blong Fort Moresby. You got kind all service staff. Some blah apple policeman blow you staff blong and all kind service staff blow lay up Fort Moresby. Only nobody access long it. But when they serve 24/7 a day for you, they have all these other sacrifices for you that other citizens enjoy. Sometimes they don't enjoy. Out in some of our remotest parts, and I lift my head up for you. For and on behalf of our rural communities and the people of this nation, and the government also, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart as your minister coming in, addressing you at this first press conference. We like to thank you truly. Today I sit here with a suit on me. Today I sit here with a necktie on me. And if I open my suit, you see an iron set. That is as a result of a good wife behind me. For many of you sacrificing in the rural communities and out in some remotest parts, I salute the faithfulness of your spouses. They do as well as for the nation in as much as you serve out in the front line. Your sacrificial commitment, even with your kids in these remotest areas, I thank you and I salute you. And that is the reason why we have to ensure that an organization that operates 24/7 a day, week in, month in, year in, year out. Their welfare has to be protected, has to be guaranteed. They have to be motivated to ensuring that they continue to commit themselves to the loyalty of service to this nation. As I thank you, that's the challenge to the Commissioner that I have given him, that together we will work. It's a work in progress. Good work has started. We just have to progress with it. Time he come inside Lord Display office too. We look sabe also demand long big blood population inside Lord Display country law police force here and big blood truth. Na plenty time commissioner now lining of pass law leading this organization of come na to resource staff where me like buy uniform, me like go give display. Number blow police no enough. Me need him resource law training more man law police college blow me blah. You know easy plus something. But then long LV me as your police minister. I wanted facts. So I can be a good salesman. A salesman of the people of Papua New Guinea as your police minister. Wherever the needs are, wherever our shortfalls are, we have to sell ourselves with facts. Yeah. You mean not blow talk or say, hey, we need more money here, money come. But you need money long money can go. Money me blow give him, you blow finish it, you blow use him long 1 MR. You waste him or you use him good? Coming in as the Minister for Police. Me no not just gonna talk to Prime Minister. Me tribal senior man, yeah. You put in face for me, law police department, law and order, law this country. You giving me money now. But me no not gonna talk to Prime Minister, na government law giving me more money. I have to have facts. I have to tell the Prime Minister, the Treasurer, the National Executive Council, facts about how we have allocated and used funds that were allocated to us in the past and how we are going to use what is allocated for us in a money plan going forward. And is it enough for us? And therefore I have directed the good Commissioner for Police to provide me a financial report that I can take up to the Prime Minister and the National Executive Council, especially of the monies that we have received from our national budget of 2025, whether we received everything or whether we were short paid, but the money that we have received, where have we expended the money? What are the results that we have received as a result of investing that money, be it at the national function of the police department or be it at the provincial command centers right throughout the country. Some time the budget also better also. Big money go to police department. Last year, I think 800 million kina. Am I right, Commissioner of Police? But inside Lord is like 800 million kina. People are working on something. People do Papua New Guinea, people are sabe. Inside Lord is like 800 million kina, yeah. I think 400 million kina, and we go pay na personal emoluments belong all policemen. Now, people are left with 400 kina that's all now. And then he got all PIP projects too, stuff inside Lodisla budget. So some Lodisla money go Lodisla finished now. You may left with the current 24/7 operation with the footprints of police force right across the north and south and east and west landscape of this country. And sometimes given in our saving of our people in some very rugged terrain, geographical nature where emi unwelcoming straight long police law working work. So once the commissioner will give me a revenue and an expenditure report of 2025, I want to also see his money plan for 2026. Maybe for the operational budget in the so-called 1.2 billion, thanks to the government, you know, we really sincerely appreciate this big investment. The Marape government has always been consistently investing in the police department. Big PIP projects for our forces, emoluments, salaries, and wages. But hey, listen, if you want to have real outcomes on the challenges, on the demand you put on the police department in answering the calls of addressing social disorders and lawlessness in the country, I believe as your police minister, our operational funds must come on time and must be sufficient enough to meet the cost of police operations right throughout the country 24/7. 24/7. And therefore, of the 230 of the 250 million allocated for operations, I want to know how much is going to the police fraud squad as a national function. How much is going to SSD as a national function? How much is going into forensic as a national function? How much is going into the cyber division as a national function? What else is a national function? The dog unit. Yes? Our training out there. Anything else that I have left out? Huh? Crimes, CID, homicide, police traffic, all these are national functions that must be absorbed into the operational budget. We cannot take PIB. We cannot draw that money from personal emoluments. Our policemen will have to be paid. The allowances will have to be covered. But under our operational budget, hire cars will have to be paid. Police vehicles will have to be maintained. Fuel costs have to be paid. Uniforms will have to be addressed. Stationaries will have to be bought. I really want to know the details of where this operational fund is going. If the government and the people of this country demand standards and performance in the policing, in addressing lawlessness in this country, then they have to do so with ample resource backup. And therefore, is 3 million kina enough for the police fraud squad? Or is 2 million kina enough for crimes? How much have we been putting into the provincial commands? Is it 10,000 kina in a year for provincial commands? Or is it 50,000 kina? Is that sufficient? These are things I want to know, to be able to sell the police department with our friends, with our partners, with our government, etc. But we have to do it with factual information. And therefore, I have directed the Commissioner of Police to give me his money plan for 2026. But let me also say this. If it is 250 million kina for operations, then it comes to about maybe just over 20 million kina a month, am I correct? Just over 20 million kina a month? Yeah. If it is just over 20 million kina a month, and you don't get that 20 million kina in a month for your operation, maybe as you start that month, in the first week of that month, and you don't get that money, the 24/7 operation fails. Why do I say it fails? It fails because the commissioner does not have the money in that month allocated for the police fraud squad. They don't get it. So their investigations get delayed. Their arrests get delayed. They can't fly out. If the allocation from the 20 million kina for that month, for Enga province for that matter, or Western province for that matter, one of our remote parts of the country, if the provincial commands don't get their money on time, they run out of fuel. They can't replace the police tires, so they can't go and do their job and their duty. They can't attend to complaints. Whatever is the allocation, big or small, whatever it is that is a monthly allocation for the police department, you cannot delay it because it is the 27 operation. If you don't give January's 20 million kina and you say that, or what I did not give you in January, I'll top it up together with February's allocation and you'll give 40 million kina then. But I tell you, because the 20 million kina didn't come on time in January, everything pulls back in a 24/7 operation of the police force. We are not just another agency of the state. We are an organization that protects any other agencies and departments of the state. We are not just another operation of the independent state of Papua New Guinea. We are here for leaders. We are here for businessmen. We are here for foreign or national citizens for that matter, living in the space of a nation we call Papua New Guinea, in order to protecting you and containing lawlessness in this country. Our operation is 24/7. And therefore, whatever little, whatever it is, a monthly allocation insofar as the department is concerned has to be timely. Otherwise, you push back this 24/7 operation. And it is for these reasons that I want to know, out of your financial report for 2025, monthly basis came on time. If not, what are the reasons why? How can we fix it? Your money plan for this year, what do you expect on a monthly basis so that your 24/7 operations can continue uninterrupted? Once we give you that support, you've got no excuse whatsoever in ensuring that police performance and standards are consistent right throughout the country. In any case, I've directed the good Commissioner of Police to set up or to strengthen and better capacitate the internal police inspectorate. Am I giving a correct name to it? Yes. Internal Affairs of professional affairs and standards in the police department. The reason why I want you to be properly capacitated is very, very simple. Even if it means that we will work closely with our strategic partners and we get the best into this division, that will be, to my point of view, will be the best approach going forward. There's got to be independence and the best foreign or national that should undertake duties and responsibilities in this inspectorate. I want this inspectorate to do police performance audits on the back of doing police standards and performance audits, and he was one of those who was a top student, first pass out from Bomana Police College. When inspections were done to the houses we were staying, as a small boy, I would watch this white man come. He would use his finger right on the louver of the glass. And if there was a dust on it, oh, I tell you, my uncle, Mr. Pundari, was reprimanded. And therefore, my auntie had to do everything under the sun to making sure that the home we lived in was reflective of the standards and the integrity of the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary. Once we want to house you, your welfare audits will come on the back of this inspectorate as well. We want to ensure that investments in housings are looked after well. That's the reason why I was also giving credit to many of our spouses that stand right behind you. You are together in this service. Together in this. So welfare audits. But what are they going to go and audit insofar as performances of the policing by an officer is concerned? Or the standards for that matter. I want to see KPIs. I want to see duty statements. Do the PPCs have KPIs to deliver on? Do they have KPIs for commanders down the line that report to him? For example, the police station commander, the rural commanders, the officer in charge of the crime division in each of these provinces. I can see tourists sitting here. Maybe after this press conference, I'll take a drive to Waigani police station and see if the police station commander has got a KPI to deliver on. Does he have a duty roster? Turi, does he have one?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And is he delivering on it? Is he delivering on it? Whether he's delivering on it or not, the purpose of the inspectorate is to audit on it. And that's the only way, right across, in the space of this nation with KPIs and duty statements, on the back of unannounced audits taking place, we can only be rest assured that standards and performance of policing in this country, from where it is now, can improve. And therefore, I have tasked the police commissioner to strengthen, to capacitate this division and ensure that we have some strong, educated, well-qualified national and expatriates to lead this division. Lead this division. He's got KPIs. I'm not trying to expose you. I'm talking examples. Yeah? It's part of that KPI. Is parading every shift change over part of the KPI. Because as a citizen of this city, as I pass through police stations, I've never seen a parade taking place. Is any one of you here in this room seeing a parade taking place in any of our police stations?
No.
We
No.
just now have to go back to the basics. In parades, you know if a policeman is dressed well and ready for work. In parades, you tell him exactly what he has to do in that 8 hours of service to the country. If the basics of parades are not happening, we have lost the plot in ensuring, maintaining standards in police performance. We have to go back to the basics. We are not just creating an inspectorate for the sake of it. If you don't have in your KPIs, review it. Get it done. Get the basics of KPIs done. When you improve police performance, when you improve standards, addressing law and order, it's a natural thing that comes in place. Am I correct, Simata? Thank you for listening intently. I'm so very happy for you. You've done so much. We just have to fill in these little gaps that we need to. And therefore the inspectorate has to be set up, and directions has been given. We don't have to wait for 3 months. I don't have to wait for 2 months. This can be done and delivered. Because it is in your experiences, it is in your training. You know the outcomes you want from your commanders down the line. Let's get it all done. Now, Deputy Commissioner of Police, you are not excused from being audited by the inspector. How well you use your police vehicle, how well you attend to your responsibilities, oversighting over what you are responsible to. This inspectorate will audit from the top down to an officer right across the breadth and the length of this country. Even if it means that they fly to Vanimo, they will go. It is about monitoring, it is about assessing, it is about auditing, and it is about reporting back. And we're all doing the right thing so far as policing is concerned, and therefore the citizens of this country. Over the next couple of days, it won't take me 100 days, maybe in the next 14, maybe in the next 21 days, myself as your Minister for Police, I will be consulting with fellow ministers in the likes of the Minister for Defense, who is doing a very good job. I will be consulting with our strategic partners, donors, and good friends. The first of all our good friends that I would want to consult with is my good Australian friends. We work together under some strategic development, partnership arrangements, and I am looking forward to consulting with them and to see where they have assisted us in, and some of the thoughts that I would want to share with them that may be in the cooperation that is already there that we can be able to expand on. Whilst I can give directions here, I must also say that resources will also be a challenge for the Commissioner. And therefore, good friends of this country, inclusive of our strategic friends in our part of the region, I will be consulting with. And it is not only just for resourcing, but also to improving police performance and all the priorities that I want to see happen in the constabulary, and a couple I have alluded to already. But I will be consulting with my counterpart, maybe together with the Defence Minister, our counterparts of Indonesia, Australia, and let me also say the Solomon Islands. It's very, very important. It is very, very important. And I will tell you the reason why it is more important for me to consult with. It is not only about resources, but it is about improving our border security. Very, very important. Border patrols, border surveillance. All these illegal guns, drug trades are happening because of our weakness, in addressing border surveillance and border securities. And this is an area where I want our cooperation to be enhanced. We want our people to feel a lot more safer because our borders are protected for that matter. And it is not just about guns and drugs. It's about many other, trade that is going on without the visibility of customs and so on and so forth. But I think we all hope to pull together, be it customs, be it immigration, be it the defense force, be it our strategic partners, be it our border friends, Indonesia and Solomon Islands for that matter. We need to get into consultations with them, and we've got to now aggressively talk about protecting our borders. And we ought to. We have to. Because, hey, listen, many of the guns in the Highlands region have come through those borders. Lanti or Bulletia come through all these borders. Papua New Guinea is now becoming a haven for drug cultivation. It is in their interest, in as much as ours, to work together. Yes, we want police accommodation. Yes, we want support here or there. But I tell you, one of our priorities must be to making sure that you and I are comfortable knowing that as Papua New Guineans, we are protected at our borders. And that's the reason why over the next couple of weeks or so, my priority will be to consulting with our strategic friends, friends in development, my colleagues as ministers, and colleagues as ministers in Indonesia or Australia or the Solomon Islands, for that matter. I will also be consulting with the provincial governments, especially the governors. And I think over the last couple of days, with permission or without permission, you have seen some headlines already. Shaking hands with a couple of governors already. Well, I am seriously taking my role and responsibility as police minister. I just don't want to fake it. My heart is at the right place. I am not here because I want the ministry and the privileges that comes with it. I have had enough of illegal guns. I have had enough of lawlessness living in a remote province or a remote electorate of this country. If there is got to be any seriousness going forward in addressing law and order issues, and especially guns, because guns is not just an Enga issue. It's not just a Hela issue. It's not just a Southern Islands issue. It's an issue that is all over Papua New Guinea. Am I correct?
Correct.
It's all over Papua New Guinea. As I am speaking here in the nation's capital, someone in Morata, if he is tuning in, he or she most probably has an illegal weapon under his bed, right there. In Kimbe, in Marape, in Halatau. We all have experiences exposed to illegal guns in the country. Hey, the challenges and the needs for security in each of the provinces are not similar. What Enga might need might not be similar, but a bit of something that is different to maybe Western Province for that matter. But it is only by consultation that together we can partner in addressing issues of security and lawlessness, or be it issues of illegal weapons and guns also in each of these provinces. And therefore, I have committed myself with the sincerest of respect to consult with the governors and leaders of each of the provinces. But may I say this, I acknowledge as the new Minister for Police that many of our provinces, if not all, have one way or the other contributed to the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary's efforts in its undertakings to combat law and order in those provinces. But it's about time we do it better. We improve on what we have been, partnering together. I believe the time has come to review how best we have cooperated in the past, but do it much better going forward from here. Bringing the inspectorate as part of an MOA that we signed with provincial government. We want to know how much they want to invest in policing work. They're building police accommodation, am I correct? They're assisting in maintaining police stations. They want reserves. They want to help support farm training for regular policemen. They want to see the lifting of police performance and standards in their provinces. They're saying they're putting money in, but they're not seeing results.